Would you like to survey a group of people without the back and forth of email or long chat conversations? The solution is to create a poll in Outlook or Teams. Let's look at how to simplify communications by creating a poll using Microsoft Forms. It's easy to create a poll or survey directly in an Outlook email. So I'm in the Outlook desktop app. I've created a new email. I've added the recipients and the subject. Now to add that poll, we choose Insert and Poll. This poll is created by Microsoft Forms. Now, at this point, we can only create one question, but we can allow multiple answers. So I'll fill out the question and the various options, and we'll go from there. I'd like to be able to offer multiple answers, and let's add in those options. So now I have the content of my poll. As we scroll down, all I need to do is choose Next. Notice that it indicates the responder will see the poll in their email. So my initial email will not show this, but they will see the actual display here. And all I need to do is add it to my email. Forms is trying to reassure us that even though it doesn't show the poll card, the recipient will see it that way. Now, of course, I could add other options to this, other content to that email. Once I have the content for that, I've created my poll, all I need to do is send it on its way. The results are already starting to come in. Here I'll open up the message. That is, you can see it's addressed to me, but it's showing me my results. Now I do have the option also to vote. That is, not only can I vote right here, but I could also view the results. So let's see what's going on so far. I'll go ahead and view the results. And I can see that so far we get one vote for super salads. We could continue then to refresh. Here I'll go back. Maybe I like all of those options, so I'll go ahead and vote. Now we can see very quickly the results. We'll watch this for a day or two to see what other responses we get from the recipients. It's good to know that this video is part of a training series on Microsoft Forms, which focuses on different elements and options in Forms. To learn how to get started with Forms, click the link above or look in the description below for links to the videos in the series. Polls can also be created in Microsoft Teams. In this Teams channel, I create a poll to get feedback on preferred dates for an upcoming meeting. And anyone that's in that channel would be able to complete this poll. Now, so far, we're getting a good amount of responses here, and we can kind of view and see where the predominant preference is. And so we're probably ready to start making a decision about the date for that in scheduling them. But this can save us an awful lot of time instead of the back and forth either in email or even in chat. So how do we create a simple poll? First of all, simply create a post. This actually just gives us easy access to the forms option. I don't need to fill out or populate the content here. What I'm really just looking for here is to access the different apps. So I'll choose plus, and we might see forms show up if it was something we used recently. Otherwise, you can simply type in forms, and we'll add it. So this should look very similar to what we saw in Outlook. If I have more options, I can add those here. Perhaps I want them to have multiple selections, and I could also record the names of the respondents if that's helpful. Now, that's only going to be visible to me, not to the other people that may be filling this out. Next, we can preview this. What do you think of that? Now, of course, I could submit a vote here, but I'll send it to the channel. Now, I can close this post, but here is then my very important poll. If I want to call attention to that, this is where we use an @mention in Teams. I start typing the channel name, and here I'll complete my message, and I'll send this on its way. In Teams, we can also create a poll in chat, whether it's a one-on-one chat or with a group chat. So here I have a group chat. All we need to do is move to our three dots more options, in this case, more apps. Form shows up here, but we could search for it as we did before, and we can add it. Notice the AI is reading that, and I'm going to add them all. Now, of course, I normally want to be very specific with the dates. This will hopefully give you a good option of what's possible. I'll allow multiple selections, and we'll preview this. Once again, a very important poll, and send it. And now that poll is ready to be completed by the members of this chat. I could certainly add an add mention to call more attention to it. It's that easy to create a poll in Microsoft Teams. It's good to know that you can't delete these polls from Teams. However, you can delete your polls directly from Forms, although you can't edit a poll that's created in Teams. So let's look at that. In our first video on Forms, we took a quick tour of the Forms interface. And this is also where we can view any forms that we've created, whether it's from Microsoft Forms directly or from our other applications, such as we saw with Outlook and Teams. So if I move down a bit, I can see in my recent, here is where do you want to go for lunch? This was created in Outlook. So I can move to that directly, just click on it. Well, we can see the form is read-only and can't be edited. I can view those responses just as I could within my Outlook email. And here we can see what the votes currently are for those different locations. Now let's go back to Forms. If I no longer needed that form, let's move instead from Recent to My Forms. Now here we also see that other form that we created in Teams. In fact, we have both of those. So for any of these that we created in Outlook or in Teams, we can't edit them, but we can delete them. And so if we move to our three dots, here we have the option, we could favorite, open it to view the responses, or I could even delete it from here. So although we can't delete it directly from the application, we can delete it from Forms. And here's the poll that we had in that Teams channel. Please share your preferred dates. Once again, it's read-only and can't be edited, but we can view the question and we can view the responses. What's helpful is because it was filled out in a Teams channel, more details gives us additional information as to the dates that are preferred by the various people who voted in that poll. Or we can move to the data in Excel. And here we have those answers in Excel for the web. How will you use Microsoft Forms in Outlook or Teams to create a simple, easy poll? To learn more ways to be productive with Microsoft Forms, to join my free tips newsletter, visit thesoftwarepro.com/forms. If this training was helpful, please subscribe to this channel for other time-saving software tips. Thanks for watching.